So carrying on after you've prepped your nail plate, you're going to want to apply a base coat. And of course, if you're doing original nail polish, you're just going to want to paint a original lacquer base coat, which means it air dries. I would definitely pick one though that is just solely a base coat, because I have found that the base coat top coat together, like this one right here, it's the Maybelline base coat top coat all in one that I got from Dollar Tree, they don't last as long. So I suggest using a designated base coat. But if you go to Dollar Tree and they just don't have just base coat, they just all are top coat and base coat, I do like the Maybelline fast drying gel. It's not gel, it just says that it's gel. It's not gel, it still air dries. Base coat, top coat in one. I've actually found that this one I can get about 6 to 7 days of wear out of it. I've never used it as a top coat, I've only used it as a base coat, and I do like it. So if you go to the drugstore and there's no other options, the Maybelline one from Dollar Tree will work. Other base coats that you could try are the ORLY Bonder base coat. That is a fan favorite. Everybody really likes that base coat. You can get it on Amazon, and I'll link it down in the description box down below. Seche has a base coat. OPI has a base coat. My personal opinion, if you're gonna spend money, you should spend money on your top coat and your base coat, because the base coat makes your nail polish last longer and it keeps your nails from staining. And the top coat, you can't really effectively paint your nails without a top coat, because I have found that the nail polish just does not dry. So you need a fast drying top coat to dry it. Or if you're like me, you paint your nails at the end of the day, and if you don't have a good quick dry top coat, you're gonna have those smudge marks in your nails. So if you're gonna invest money into doing your nails, I would suggest it in base coat and top. So after you have painted your base coat of choice on and you let that thoroughly dry, usually base coat does not take that long to dry, and it's usually the easiest step when you're painting your nails. But at most it should take about 5 minutes to dry, not more than that. For me, it's about usually 2 minutes, but it kind of depends on your environment. Base coat and nail polish does not like to dry when it is humid, so it might take longer or it might dry really fast. That's kind of a bonus if you're doing your nail polish in a well ventilated area, which you should be doing, because you don't want to really smell base coat nail polish. It's not good for you. So doing your nails in a well ventilated area, they'll dry faster. After your base coat is dry, it is now time to paint your nails. Pick your color of nail polish, place it towards the center of the nail, go up towards the cuticle, go down, then side to side. Then always cap your free edge. Capping your free edge will help it not to chip as fast. But if your nails are really short and you don't really have a free edge, you could skip this step. But I would suggest, even if you have a little short nail, just try to cap it. 2 things I suggest you probably should have on hand when you go to paint your nails is a toothpick or a wooden cuticle pusher, so that if you accidentally paint your skin, you can just wipe it off. And then the other thing you can do is take a brush and use some 100% acetone and clean up around your nail. Personally, for me, I always have a cuticle wood stick or a toothpick, because I'm always painting my skin. I get kind of messy sometimes. And if you want to clean up around your nail, make sure that your nail polish remover is 100% acetone. It's not 100% acetone, it just does not clean around your nail effectively. You could just use any kind of small compact brush, but I do like this Wet n Wild conceal brush. It's short and kind of dense and can kind of get around your nail, but you could just dip your cuticle wood stick or a toothpick in the nail polish remover and kind of wipe it off too. But I do suggest not spending a whole bunch of money on a brush to clean up around your nails. You could just use a makeup brush or a brush from Dollar Tree, because the acetone naturally over time is going to break the brush down. So you can just buy an inexpensive one. The only time that you might want to pay money is if it's a designated nail polish remover acetone resistant brush, where it doesn't chip as much and it lasts a little longer. You could invest in that, but for me, I just use a wood stick or makeup brush. And your nail polish doesn't really have to match your base coat and top coat. They're pretty interchangeable. So if you're using an LA Colors nail polish, but you got a Maybelline base coat or a Seche top coat, it doesn't really matter. They'll still work together. But I have heard that the benefits of getting all the same brand is that they'll work more efficiently together. So that is something you might want to try out. But for me, I have so many different nail polish brands. I just would use whatever base coat and top coat I feel like using. Alright, you got your first coat of nail polish on. It's best not to apply it too thick. It's better just to apply thinner coats and build up the coverage, because if you just do one thick glob of it, odds are you're gonna have to do another thick glob of it, and then it just gets so thick that it just does not ever want to dry, because nail polish does take kind of a while to dry. So you want to make sure you're doing thin and even coats and building up the coverage. And if you're just a beginner, I would suggest painting your nails with maybe a glitter polish, because I find if you paint your nails with red, black, or white, it's not as forgiving. Like the cuticle line is a little more noticeable, so if you kind to mess up the cuticle line. It's just like right in your face. But if you use a glitter polish, it's a little more forgiving when you paint it on. And also, if you're a beginner when you're painting your nails, I would suggest maybe not using the pearlized finished nail polishes, because when you're applying those nail polishes, you have to do less brush strokes. But when you first start out, you kind of tend to do more brush strokes just naturally. But the more that you actually apply these a little harder finishes, I wouldn't say they're like super hard, but you'll get better and better. When I first started doing my nails, I knew that white was like less forgiving, so I painted my nails white all the time because I really wanted to get good at making it look nice. So I kind of picked a hard polish and I kept practicing with it. You don't have to do that. You could just slowly practice and wear just different finishes. Usually the first coat of nail polish I find dries in like 5 to 6 minutes for me. Unless it's humid outside, it might be a little longer. But you want to make sure that this coat is pretty much 95% dry before you apply your next coat of nail polish. And how many coats of nail polish depends on the polish are you using. Like if it's a jelly, you probably don't want to apply a bunch because it's never going to be opaque because it's a jelly polish, it's see-through. So my rule of thumb, if you're applying a jelly polish, just apply 2 coats because that would just enhance the jelliness and you don't really need to get it opaque. If you're applying a cream, like a black, probably almost just need 1 coat because it's really opaque. As many coats that you use, it really depends on the color and the finish of your polish. For me, I usually apply 2 coats of nail polish, and you want to wait another 5 minutes, I would say, for it to dry. Like I said, it might take a little longer, a little less time, but generally I usually around 5 minutes. If you have a quick dry nail polish that dries faster, I noticed that those only take about 4 minutes to dry for me. After your coats of nail polish are dry, it is time to decide if you want to do nail art, and there's so many ways you can add nail art to your nails. I will be sharing an episode soon all about nail art, tips and tricks when you're doing your own nails at home. But for now, I would suggest maybe getting a toothpick and doing nail art, because if you clean up around your nails with a toothpick anyways, you have one. You don't need like a fancy brush or anything. Maybe just do like some floral or some polka dot, and that's just very simple. Or you could use a pen, make some polka dot nail art. You can be really inexpensive here or expensive if you want to get a fancy brush. But after you have done with your nail art, or you just wanted to paint your nails, do no nail art, that's awesome too. It is now time to apply your top coat, and this is very, very important because this is going to seal your manicure in, help it to last longer, and help it to dry. When you're painting your nails, what I have found is nail polish never dries. Like it can be 95% dry and you could like go to bed because you did it at, at the end of the day, and you'll still have bed creases. So you're definitely going to want to seal your nail polish in. And I would suggest using a quick dry top coat. Perfect top coat is a quick dry top coat, but it's also high gloss. You could also use matte top coat, but I would suggest if you're going to use a matte top coat, make sure that you apply a quick dry top coat first to try to even out the surface. Because if you apply a matte top coat, sometimes it can look kind of uneven, but a glossy top coat can even out that surface for you before you apply the matte top coat. And usually what I found is matte top coat does not dry fast. So putting a layer of quick dry top coat on first, then matte top coat, because you want a matte mani, usually works out better. I will link some quick dry top coats down in the description box down below. There are the Seche and Seche Vite. Those are good quick dry glossy top coats. But the Seche Vite, I have noticed, do shrink a little bit when you apply it, so that means you have to overline the nail and then clean up around the nail when you're done. I don't mind it because I get clean up around my nails anyways, and it's such a nice quick dry top coat. But if you don't want to deal with that, you could also use Hansen Insta-Dri top coat. That's a quick dry top coat. It might shrink just a little bit, but not too bad. If you want to spend a little more money, ORLY does have a Shiny Armor quick dry top coat. If you want to have the most inexpensive quick dry top coat, Dollar Tree has Super Dry. It doesn't dry, I would say, of course, as quickly as like Seche Vite, but it still works, and it's only $1. So apply the top coat of your choice. Again, usually let that dry for about 5 to 6 minutes. And then when that is dry, I suggest always putting in another layer of top coat. I always wear 2 layers of top coat because it's just extra protection throughout the week. And since it's a quick dry top coat, it should be relatively fast so you can apply the next coat of top coat. Bonus tips. When you are painting your nails with nail polish, there is a trick you can use. You can use gel base coat, and actually I prefer using gel base coat when I'm painting my nails with normal original nail polish because it does a better job protecting my nails from staining, and it makes my manicures last longer. But of course, if you're going to use a gel base coat, you're going to need a lamp. It doesn't air dry, so that is something. If you do have a nail lamp, you can use gel base coat with original nail polish. How you would do that is you would apply your gel base coat, you would cure it in the lamp, then you would use some isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free pad to remove the sticky layer of gel that is left behind after you cure it, and it's usually a smooth, shiny surface, and then you can apply your nail polish to that surface. I really like gel base coat for nail polish because it lasts longer than just normal original base coat. You don't use as much because a little bit of gel goes a long way, because you only need a little bit of gel base coat, unless you have like, I guess, really long nails, then you would use more. But I feel like I can get more manicures out of my gel base coat than I can of my normal gel original base coat. And also you can use gel top coat over your normal nail polish, and it seals it in and gives it a really nice shiny coat. But I will warn you, it is a little harder though, because you have to make sure that your nail polish is 100% dry before you apply your gel top coat over it and cure it in the lamp, because it will wrinkle. So let's say your nail polish was only 85% dry and you applied your top coat. Odds are, after you cure the gel top coat, the nails will look wrinkly because the nail polish wasn't fully dry. Or they'll cure over time. Like you'll notice 2 days from after you did your nails, they'll be wrinkly. So for me, I prefer just to use normal, original, like a quick dry top coat over my nail polish, just because I don't want to deal with that. But I do like using gel base coat with my original nail polish. Alright, so you have successfully painted your own nails, but undoubtedly it's gonna come time where you're gonna have to remove them. So please click right here for the next video in this series, all about tips and tricks on how to remove your nail polish. Affordably, of course. And remember, Ascenders, our dreams will send to the highest peak. Love ya. I'll see you in my next video. Meow. Bye.